Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Elaine and I'm living with autoimmune disease, anxiety, apprehension, seeing a new specialist. Anyone else been in this boat? I wanted to share today my experience of going to a scleroderma specialist. So I am a patient at a teaching hospital here in Los Angeles, and I've been very comfortable with my level of care that I receive from my rheumatologist. But sometimes a good rheumatologist has to consult with other rheumatologists on treatment, and that's where I was at. I received a referral to a world-renowned scleroderma specialist for a consultation on medication. So my diagnosis is an overlap diagnosis. I've shared with you all before that I have rheumatoid arthritis, I have systemic sclerosis, and I also have lupus. So I have this overlap condition, and we've had a little difficulty in finding the right cocktail. So a autoimmune disease patient, when they talk about their cocktail of medications, it's the medications that they use to manage their condition. Now, as you all know, there is no cure for autoimmune disease. So all we can do is manage the condition or the conditions that we have. We've been working on trying to find the right cocktail of medication for my overlap. I am stable, so I'm not going to mislead you. The medication cocktail I'm on, it has stabilized my internal damage. So even though I have reached that level of stability for my internal organs, which is great, but I have not reached that stability when it comes to the level of chronic pain that I'm feeling daily or the chronic fatigue that I feel daily. And as a patient, I'm not happy with where I am at, if that makes sense. I know that we're good, but I want to be better. And I don't want to just feel like I'm surviving. I want to feel like I'm living. And anybody who has autoimmune disease, I think we all want to feel that. And I might be reaching for the stars, but I'm not done reaching for the stars. So all of this to say, I was referred to a world-renowned scleroderma specialist who practices numerous places, but one of the places that he practices is here in Los Angeles. So the referral from my rheumatologist at the teaching hospital took me to this specialist to see if he had any other ideas that we have not tried yet or that might work for my overlap disease. Getting referred to a specialist is a great privilege. I know that a lot of people don't have that opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that opportunity. I'm thankful for my insurance that provides me that opportunity to go and seek that expertise of a specialist. And I'm thankful for the means to be able to do that. I'm thankful we didn't have to travel far. I mean, it's in LA County. I live in LA County, so really it was just dealing with traffic. There is always a but, right? I don't go outside of my hospital system very often. Now, I told you I'm a patient at a teaching hospital, so all my specialists are in that facility. They all know each other. They all work together. My GI specialist works with my rheumatologist, and the dermatologist works with the rheumatologist. The hematologist knows the GI doctor and works with them. I mean, they all work together and they all know each other. And when you're referred in that hospital system, you don't ever have to validate your condition or start over. They know the specialist referring you, they respect them as a colleague, they can go into the notes because all the system is the same and they all see each other's reports. And they can see imaging that one has done, and I've never had to validate my condition to any other specialist I'm seeing within that hospital system. That in itself is a huge blessing because with autoimmune disease, as I said, we look very healthy on the outside, but we're not healthy on the inside. And going to a new specialist who just looks at our outer shell would probably question what we're telling them about our diagnosis or how awful we're feeling. So going outside of that hospital system brought a level of anxiety, a level of apprehension. When starting this journey, it is very hard to convince whoever it is, a primary care doctor, an urgent care doctor, whoever that you're ending up in that first instance of seeing a physician, it's hard to convince them how awful you truly feel. A lot of times a patient leaves not validated for what they're feeling or what they're saying. And I have myself experienced this. At the start of my rheumatological journey, I was told that I was stressed out and that's why I had pain in my neck. That's my rheumatoid arthritis story. I'll leave a link down below to that if you haven't seen that, but I was questioned by a primary care doctor about the validity of the pain I was feeling. There's a lot of post-traumatic stress that comes with being a patient. And I know that I have friends who say, oh, you must get used to going to the doctor. It must not bother you. That's not always true. No matter how used to going to the doctor a person is, there is always a level of anxiety or apprehension. So I had to start over outside of a system and start with a scleroderma specialist who didn't know me, didn't know my journey. I had to go into that appointment and put my anxiety to the side, put my apprehension to the side, and make sure that I could speak truth to what I was feeling, truth to my journey. And the other apprehensive part of that is you want to be honest enough to tell your story to this physician, but then the other part of you doesn't want to be too honest because then they think you're a hypochondriac. You want to convey that I feel awful, I feel crappy, I don't have any energy, I hurt all the time, and I'm short of breath, but say it in a way that you don't sound like a hypochondriac because an autoimmune disease patient is fearful that if we come off too much like sounding like a hypochondriac, we'll be dismissed. And there's anxiety or apprehension about finding the right balance between the two, conveying what you really feel and not doing it in a way that has a specialist dismiss you. Because of the traumatic events that we've encountered in our journey, in our road, it feels like that might happen again. So all this to say, I saw the scleroderma specialist. A bit intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, but I made it through, and I wanted to share my experience with you all. If you feel this way when you see specialists, you're not alone. I think we all feel this way. We all feel that apprehension. We all feel that anxiety. We all have a little bit of post-traumatic stress from our journey before. And no matter how much I go to the doctor, how many years it's been, how many MRIs I've gotten, how many CT scans, how many ultrasounds, how many blood draws, there's always apprehension left in this patient. I don't care if you're a veteran or not, you feel that no matter what. And it's a human experience and it's a human thing. And I'm sharing it because I think that people need to know that we do not get used to going to the doctor, and seeing specialists for the first time is very nerve-wracking. And I think for me, my best advice is, if you are a patient who is having to see another specialist, is, I know this sounds ridiculous, but practice what you're gonna say to them. Practice going over it in your head. I think preparing that kind of script for me helps me feel not as anxious or apprehensive about that appointment. And if you are a friend or a family member of an autoimmune disease patient, please be kind when we are going to see a new specialist. I know that we can get kind of grumpy when we're seeing new specialists, and it's because we have all these internal feelings that we're trying to work out. And I know that we take it out on our loved ones, or maybe we both withdraw from our loved ones, but it's because we're working out a lot of behind the scenes emotional things that are going on in our head when we're encountering this. So if you have had this experience, I'd love to hear about it. I always like to know I'm not alone in my feelings. So let me know down below if you feel that same level of anxiety, apprehension, post-traumatic stress. I don't really know what to call it. Let me know how you describe it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you always listening to me and being here. Our family is growing and I'm appreciative to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love to have you. The more friends, the more better. So please hit the subscribe button. And even if you just want to comment on anything, leave me a comment down below. I love talking to you all. And until my next adventure, go have yours.